Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to Bonus Ball. As you may have noticed already, I am not standing in front of a green screen today. I've decided to go back in time, if you will, back to a simpler time where the editing didn't take so long and I could get content out to you guys on a weekly basis. So I've decided to tone things down a little bit, and I hope that you guys really enjoy the more classic Bonus Ball look. Now with that aside, let's jump right into our very first video. We're going to start things off very light this week with a player who gets himself into a very tight position.
Oh yes! Oh, my day has been made!
Now, I've had my fair share of getting into stupid bunkers, but I think that one there absolutely takes the cake. He eliminates a player and then makes a dive for what appears to be a dug-in sewer drain. So, I mean, what in your mind makes you think that's going to be a good idea to jump into? I do have to take into consideration that that was the only obstacle that he had that he could get behind. So, I mean, as bad of a position as that was, it was the best that he had at the time. I would absolutely love to hear what you guys would do if you were put in that exact same situation, so sound off down in the comments below. Alright, and next up we have some friendly fire action. Friendly fire has to be one of the most common occurrences on the paintball field. I can't name a single player that I know of that hasn't been friendly fired at least once. Now, it sucks that we don't get a reaction here. I always like to see the reactions afterwards. I love finding out how players react to different situations on the paintball field, and getting friendly fired is definitely one of the crappiest ones. Although he does show us the mark at the very end, friendly fire at close range sucks. What can you do? And to carry on with the situations that could have been better if they were handled just a little differently, we are going into a video where basically one player can eliminate an entire squad because the squad didn't work together.
Wow, we're getting shot up from the shield, the fucking ridge, guys. Somebody else pick him! Yeah, yo, someone take point! Seamus, peek him! Oh, I hurt like a fish. He hit me in the tip of the finger. Oh. Right in the pussy, I hurt. Fuck! How are we so bad?
There was about 4 or 5 people sitting behind that vehicle, all stacked up, ready to go. It appears that only 1 or 2 players were actually aiming at the third player who was on his way up the field. But that player did have a riot shield. He was able to dodge all those shots. That one opposing player made his way up the bus and was able to take out that entire squad one by one, simply just by taking his time.
Yeah, yo, someone take point! Seamus, peek him! Oh, I hurt like a fish. He hit me in the tip of the finger.
I definitely think that there's a time and a place for riot shields, and this seems like the kind of game that they utilize that perfectly. Well, at least one guy did anyway. What are your thoughts on riot shields in paintball games? Are they a good idea, a bad idea, limited to only certain types of games, allowed at all types of games? I'd love to hear from you. You know what I love most about summer paintball? There's no snow. There's no ice on the ground, your chances of falling are significantly less, unless you're this guy.
There we go.
How insane is that? He almost fell into a pond. I mean, another foot in either direction on that little bridge that he was walking on, and he could have been drenched for the day. I'm always down for getting down and dirty on the paintball field, but it's got to be when I volunteer to do it. Last but certainly not least by any stretch of the imagination is a multi-time repeat offender here on Bonus Ball, the one, the only Dreadcam. This guy knows how to fail. Now, for those of you that are a little sensitive, this next clip might not be for you. Not visually, but just the sounds of another man puking on the field is enough to just turn anybody's stomach. Oh, that is just nasty. That is a grown man puking on the paintball field. That is intensity at its finest. When you're working so hard and your adrenaline gets going so bad that it just causes everything in your stomach to come up like that. He goes on to get 16 eliminations before getting eliminated himself. That is pure insanity. I couldn't imagine being the player who comes up behind him shortly there afterwards and dives behind that bunker and just like, oh, what is that? What's that funky smell, dude? As always, links to all of the channels listed here on the show today will be in the description below. Make sure you check them out. I'm sure they would appreciate some love. If you have your own paintball fails that you would love to have seen here on the show, make sure you send them in. The link to the contact form is in the description as well. As always, if you went on to enjoy today's video, make sure you slam that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my channel if you are new. I will catch you all next week, but until then, Nightmare out.